the face of local TV since 1966. Shaw TV, your local voice.
Hi, I'm Chef Sabrina, and today I'm hoping to take the anxiety out of cooking lamb at home. Many people only eat lamb out in restaurants, believing it's too difficult to prepare themselves. Today we're going to make a panko crusted rack of lamb with fresh mint sauce, a tasty dish for your holiday entertaining. So we need to start out by preheating the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It needs to be nice and hot. Tender cuts of meat, like a rack of lamb, need to be cooked at high temperatures for quick cooking times to keep them moist and tender. So next is the panko coating, and I'm going to be making it into a shallow pie pan or dish just so it's easier to bread my lamb racks. So we're going to start out by putting my panko in. And this is just a nice light bread crumb. And then we're going to be adding in our chopped fresh mint, parsley, lemon zest, minced garlic, salt and pepper, and fresh thyme. So I've purchased a lamb rack that has already been Frenched. That means that the fat cap and the bones have been cleaned up. So I'm going to be patting it with a paper towel just to dry it off bit, and on the other side. And I'm going to be putting some salt and pepper onto it. You want to put this on when it's in the raw state so it can absorb into the meat, because once the meat is cooked, seasoning only sits on the outside. So I'm going to add some oil to a non-stick fry pan, and I want to make sure that I have one that's got an oven-proof handle. If you don't have one, make sure you've got an extra pie plate or dish that you can cook the lamb in the oven. So once my oil is heated up, I'm going to sear off the outside of the lamb. So I've got my pan heated up to a nice medium temperature, and I'm going to gently put the lamb rack in here. You don't want to cook it at too high a temperature or you're going to burn the outside. We're going to want to sear this on both sides till it's nice and golden brown. So I'm going to turn the heat off. I've cooked this for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side, and I'm going to be taking it out. Keep this pan close by because you're going to need it again. We're going to put this over on our cutting board or tray, and we're going to brush it with some Dijon mustard. So we're going to put the mustard on the meaty side of the rack and on the ends fairly thickly. So now I've got my mustard all over the lamb rack. I'm going to be pressing it into my panko crumb mixture. So once our lamb has the panko coating on it, we're going to put it back into our cooking pan. This is going to go into the oven that's now preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to cook it to the desired doneness. And just as a frame of reference, 135 degrees Fahrenheit is rare. All right, so we've got our lamb out of the oven, so now we're going to do our temperature check. A meat thermometer has a sensor right on the end. So this is the part that's going to go right into the thickest part of the loin, and we're going to just do our reading. I like to take mine out just a few degrees under what I like to eat it at because there is some carryover cooking. So while it's resting on the cutting board, it's going to continue to cook. This looks good. So we're going to move this over to the cutting board. We're going to cover it with some tin foil to keep it warm. And while this is resting, we're going to make our mint sauce. Serving mint sauce with lamb is pretty traditional, and it's really easy to make. We're going to start out by putting some beef broth in our saucepan. And we're going to be adding malt vinegar and sugar and heating it over medium heat until the sugar dissolves. So once the sugar is dissolved, we're going to be adding in our fresh mint. We're going to be reducing our temperature down to low and simmering it for 5 minutes. So here we have our carved panko crusted rack of lamb with fresh mint sauce. This recipe can be found in our 2011 Holiday Collection cookbook or on our website. Join me next time for more great recipes and kitchen safety tips on Shaw TV. An annual inspection of your furnace and other fuel-burning appliances is the best defense against carbon monoxide exposure. For more safety tips, visit atcogas.com.